Going to the next topic, pandemic brings Indian consumers closer to Ayurveda. According to experts, this Ayurveda demand has risen, and now Ayurveda is going to become $15 billion industry by 2023. It's not a very big number. Still, some kind of encouragement we can pat on our backs. $15 billion. So there has been a surge in demand for Ayurveda products after COVID-19 pandemic, as people have realized the importance of traditional immunity boosters. According to experts, this demand for Ayurvedic products, along with growing the discretionary spending, can help in Ayurveda becoming $15 billion and go beyond that. An Apple iPhone sells probably, I don't know exact number, honestly, but it probably sells more than $15 billion of worth of iPhones they sell in a weeks or months. But still, we are in a nascent global domination with Ayurveda. So, how do you feel about it, sir?
So just a mere number. We have two important segments here. That is the organized sector and unorganized sector. We can get the information and data and even the statistics from the organized sector, but we don't know the exact the data of unorganized sector. How much herbs are being used and how much it is money relation has taken place. Because many times Vaidyas, they themselves collect the drugs from the nature and they prepare medicine, they sell it to their clients. Such type of things are unorganized sector is a lot. The huge scope is there, but still, when compared to the Chinese traditional medicine, our global market is very comparatively very less. And if it is increasing after the pandemic, it's a good news. At least people now realize that Ayurveda can deliver a lot of important things to their life, and it has a meaning in their life. That is a good progress. Definitely, we will have a good future for Ayurveda and even the Ayurvedic market. Definitely, people, once they expose themselves to these type of products and results, outcomes, definitely they will try to search the effect and efficacy of Ayurveda in other diseases also, not only for immunity boosting, then for the other diseases also. Definitely, that the scope has been definitely widens after these developments, which is taking place after the pandemic. And in perspective of Ayurveda thing, it is a good thing what's happening. At least at somewhere around down the line, the people has to understand this, the efficacy of Ayurveda and its role, how it has been used 3,000, 5,000 years ago, and how it is been still it is in practice with all onslaught of technology and modern medicine, and still it is surviving. So itself is suggests that it is how capable of handling the things. Definitely in the chronic diseases and other managements, Ayurveda has a supremacy when compared to the other drugs, other system of medicines.
And I also feel that it is now for the honest Ayurveda, purely Ayurveda practicing Ayurveda doctors in India and also in practitioners abroad, they have to like up the ante, up their game. They have to do more and more like public talks, home remedies or herb uses awareness program. I'm sure many of the participants that are here, they conduct such talks and all. So probably they have to, like, I mean, we have to, market ourselves in a better way with more and more talks in, communities and whatnot, sir.
See, we have a different set of people, or we can say it's we have a different set of audience. Not everyone will be friendly or savvy with the technology. So some may be searching the things in YouTube and some may be searching in Google, but some may be looking at some books, some may be looking at some audio talks or something like that, or something like that. So there will be a different set of people with a different set of interest. So definitely somebody is doing some awareness camp, somebody is doing some awareness camp again about the plants and the cultivation of plants, somebody with the utilization of the plants, and somebody with the principles of Ayurveda, and someone is propagation. See, propagation, let it come from any direction. It may be CME, it may be short talk, or it may be some videos, clippings, or some presentations, or maybe peer-reviewed journal presents, statistics. Let everything speak about Ayurveda. Then automatically it will be growing in multi-direction. One naturally surviving thing has to grow in multi-direction. So that's a good sign. If somebody is doing some awareness program, there may be, but we need to understand important area where we need to inculcate this habit is bring the concepts of Ayurveda into the minds of young brains. That is, very particularly those who are in high schools and colleges. If you inculcate these ideas and the concepts of Ayurveda into their brain, they will become future prospective doctors of Ayurveda, or they become future prospective clients of Ayurveda, and they may practice these things in their home, and they develop next generation, they will pass down this information. So that is the where the very important thing we need to do it. And of course, nowadays the young generation is very much tech savvy, and they like can understand and handle these informations from the Google and all these search engines. Definitely it will be good if you put a lot of efforts on those areas to provide them the necessary documents and the informations regarding this. And the propagation, if it is done with all these things, along with that, if you start giving the results in patient, that is very very important. Just simply just talk doesn't make any sense. If you talk and also deliver, then it comes the very wonderful thing.
Like you told, for the my websites like Easy Ayurveda and ayurmedinfo.com and all, when I look into the analytics part, more than 30% of the people coming to the website searching for Ayurveda remedies, herbs, and whatnot. So more than 30% of them fall between the age group of 15 to 30. So it's a very good sign that the young people in their second and third decades are looking up to Ayurveda and all. And probably it will be a good idea to at least have like 5 to 2 hours of their curriculum, maybe in the high school or at least in the science 11th or 12th, somewhere in between, because yoga is getting incorporated. So similarly, if a few basic concepts of Ayurveda and little bit of herbs can give kind of a needed academic push to Ayurveda in a very early age to the students.
Definitely, that's the right area, right? The place where we need to give a little bit of push. So once even government is also planning for such activities, and Department of Ayush and Ministry of Ayush is also working on that lines. Definitely, if curriculum and even the subject a little bit importance on Ayurveda, Indian culture and history and these things, if rectification is done, definitely it gives a push to Ayurveda and even to the next future generation. They will be very choosy in selecting these subjects as well as the information. So definitely it is going to help.
With more and more knowledge of Ayurveda spreading, the myths like anybody can take any remedy or myths. I mean, if I read a few Ayurveda things here and there, I myself can self-medicate or treat other people. So probably with good knowledge spreading through the academic routes, and all the Ayurveda community as a whole stepping up will be helpful in busting these myths and keeping away an attempt to paint Ayurveda as some kind of a just home remedy science.
See, regarding developing of myth and all those things, it's quite common, obvious. We can have myth for anything. Any science can be said as a myth. One who believes in the science, he accepts it as a truth. The one who doesn't believe or he is feeling some doubtfulness, he always go for that. And some non-believer will always be putting blame on the others. So such type of things is very common. See, we have some broad-based understanding or some beliefs among the population that Ayurveda doesn't have any side effects. Is it true? It is not true. If a drug is given in a wrong direction, a wrong dosage, and a wrong person, then it can cause a side effect. But the strongest belief is that Ayurveda is herbal, it is free of side effects. So, like that, the myths and understandings are different. Even regarding the computers and how it functions, and even all these things, there are myths all over the world. Wherever there is a science, there will be myth, and that cannot be, and that can be only by propagating the real science and things. Slowly we can overcome it, but still, as the days advances and the time advances, new things will come, and a new myth, the old one will go and a new one may generate. So this is a very superstitious things that let it be. Whatever the way, let it spread first. Once it spreads the people, then people will definitely think which is right, which is not right. and they will choose it and they will take decisions. So that's the reason we should just give in whatever the way we can propagate the Ayurveda, in maybe in the form of booklets, maybe in the form of pushing through the curriculum, maybe pushing it through the young brains, or going to some high schools and developing some gardens of medicinal plants, and even going to village, making some health camps. So many things. So there are many ways of spreading Ayurvedic information. Let it be. In all these things, in every direction it spreads. Let it go in a very good one. Like just like how it is said, Ano Bhadrenta Krutavo Ishvatah. Let the virgin good things come from all the direction. Like that, let it spread in all the direction.
Talking about myths, last 2 years have been like totally myths and science coalesced. Like there is COVID-19, there are facts and there are myths. Then there was this vaccine and the treatments, newer drugs every day, every week. Try to treat the COVID-19, and there is even in the technology world there is like 5G and radiation related to 5D technology and all. So then it was like individual myths layer. Now we have like cocktail of myths like COVID-19 with 5G. It's causing this that. Rightly quoted the Vedas chant that let the science progress, let the truth spread, let's be receptive to all the truths and the science. Then naturally these myths will be taken care of. And another interesting thing that is happening with the promotion of Ayurveda is that many of the farmers. So what has happened is that in places like Bangalore, these techies and software engineers who are there in Bangalore, Noida, Gurgaon, all those places, because of the pandemic around, they have gone back, and now I see a lot of queries of these people taking up farming, and now they want to not only do farming but also do organic farming. So with organic farming they want to do cultivate Ayurveda herbs. So and there is this new avenues opening up and new opportunities coming up in terms of organic farming and many other places.
Yeah, definitely, because in the during the pandemic, if you observe, the rates of ashwagandha, guduchi, estimadu, shatavari, they all jumped like anything. Even gugulu almost doubled or tripled the prices. So this is a very common thing, because when suddenly the market demand is up and supplier is not there, and you cannot have it is not a chemical thing which is factory made, it has to grow naturally. Definitely there will be demand, and whoever has the thing taken the care of these demands, definitely fetch it the higher prices, and this push in the market in such a way that, because many people they lost their livelihood during the pandemic, there is a lockdown and all these things, and they wanted to shift back to some other alternative of earning the resources, and definitely they found this is a new area where a very large scope is there, and they understood that with the pandemic, how the health is important, and those which are associated or attached with the health sector definitely thrives for the longer time. So that's the reason they want to attach it with these things, and Ayurveda has definitely has taken a boost with the pandemic and these type of occasions. Definitely the market is full of opportunities for the growth of organic farming, as well as the herbal material sampling and their nurseries and the whatnot else. The people are doing farming with tulsi. Lot of people are doing with that nowadays, and it's a good thing, because when they start doing these techies and these people, they have a background idea of marketing and how better marketing can be done, and they'll find out the supplier and as well as the buyer and everything. They'll go for the contract farming and there'll be no loss, because this is a very important area. Anybody can grow, but who is buyer? If you don't know the buyer, then the product will perish. So that should not happen. So that's these things can be very well managed by these techies, and if they are entering in, that's a good sign. Let them enter and enjoy.
Yep. From the world of computers and wires and Wi-Fi to the natural earthy mud smell of mud, water, and greens. Welcome.